want to take a minute just to introduce our next speaker. So this is, I've already shared this with you. This has been a very personal event for me, and this next speaker is no exception. There are people in our lives, they come into our lives, they just kind of present themselves, and they're there for a reason. I've known Dennis for a while. It's got to be a year or two, maybe a little bit longer than that. And Dennis and I originally started working together, and he was helping me get publicity and doing some press. He's worked with some of the top authors in the country. He's worked with multiple best-selling books. And he took somebody like me without any exposure at all, and I was suddenly on CNBC.com and on Inc. and on Huffington Post and countless different places, and he got me placed. And that's what he does. He takes people and he gets them exposure and he puts them out there in the world. The way he does it is magic. Dennis has this way of communicating and getting people to listen that is unique. It comes from a long, storied background, both in music and in business. He is one of my closest friends in Austin. He's a guy that I'll go out to lunch with whenever he needs me to. He's definitely part of my who. I think you are going to be impressed and take a lot out of this presentation that you can go back and immediately apply. Ashton was right. We are in a noisy, noisy world. Dennis will help you cut through the noise and actually be heard. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend, Dennis Welch.
You know you're drowning in a sea of words. The average knowledge worker in the United States is interrupted every 11 minutes. And because it's 11 minutes, we interrupt ourselves twice during that time. So about every 5 minutes, we're checking something ostensibly to find out if we're being interrupted or not, I think is what we're doing. You can't make people have an epiphany. You can't. You can try all you want to, but you can't make them have, here's what they need to have an epiphany. They need information, they need dialogue, and they need time. And you can't do that in a 2-minute phone call where you drag some guy out of a meeting. So you know what? It's important what you say to people. You don't know what conversations you're starting, but you've got to start. You've got to start a conversation. You ever seen him talk? It cracks me up. I love the guy, but he's so sure of himself. You know, he compared his ideas to the law of gravity. Holy cow, he's Newton now, okay? He wrote the Bible and he's Newton. So everything has hooks. Your job, everything that you do in life, everything you want to say to people has hooks on it. It does. You got to find them. And here's the problem. Just talking to a man over here earlier, right before I walked up here. You know what? Here's the problem. That, you know what? People expect you to reply now. That they want stuff now. We live in an instant culture, communications-wise. You know what is killing us? Here's the problem with technology. Technology makes us feel like we're doing stuff. You know what? It's addictive. You know, we sent out 1,000 emails. I don't know why we didn't get a response. That's why. That's why, because you know what? Because you're not connecting with me at all. You're not having a conversation. You're having a monologue. And I'm going to tell you something. I've never sold anything in a monologue. I've only sold things in a dialogue. And he didn't say a single word. He reached under his writing table and he pulled out a stack of legal paper, yellow legal paper, all written up with like a big pen, scrawled around and things written through and all that stuff that was as thick as a dictionary. And he slid it across the table to me and he said, Dennis, that is one song I've been working on for 7 years. And so listen, if you want to change the world, you can do it. These stories today, hey, they're not about me. They're about the magic and power and mystery of choosing the right words. Thank you.